All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day of mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm up, 80s on the screen. Let's get started, please. Shouldn't take you long. By now, you guys are experts at that. Copy and go. All right, let's get the show on the road. Number one. Show your neighbor what you got, and then Gio's going to give us the answer for that one. What you get for number one? X equals what, Gio? Plus minus 8i. Hands if you got that. That is correct. For number two, you graph your cubic function, and it should look something like this. Tell your neighbor where you move that according to your transformation. And then Gio's going to pass someone. Where do we move that to? Gio, pass someone. Mario. 2 right, 3 down. 2 right, 3 down. So therefore, our new function is down here. That is correct. So far, so good. Let's go to number 3. Solve by completing the square. For this one, I'm going to have someone help me out. But before I do, check with your neighbor, see what they got for that one. All right, here goes the process, completing the square. Step 1, Yulisa, what do you do? Do what? Change y to 0, x squared plus 4x plus 13 equal to 0. Pass them one. Kelly, what do I do next? So she went to the third step because there's no 1 here, but I'm going to do the 1 first before I subtract. So that is x squared plus 4x plus 13 equal to 0. And she said subtract 13 from each side. X squared plus 4x, empty space, equals negative 13. Pass on one, Kelly. Caitlin, what do I do? Add 4 over 2 squared to each side. That is correct, and we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals to negative 13 plus 4, which is negative 9 equals to x squared plus 14x plus 4. What do we do next? Pass someone, Caitlin? Mario, how do we factor this? Shortcut. X, square root and square root. So we get what? Plus 2 squared equal to negative 9. So far, so good. And the last couple steps, pass them one. Square root, square root. We end up with x plus 2 equals plus minus what, everyone? 3i. That is correct. And last but not least, Mr. Q, minus 2 minus 2, x equals negative 2 plus minus 3i. And there's 2 equations in here. I'm not going to have you write them, but there they are. Are those real solutions or non-real solutions? Tell your neighbor, real or non-real? Gio, pass them one. Mario, those real or non-real? Non-real. Why non-real? Everyone, why are they non-real? because the I, or because there's a negative square root right before that. All right, that was number 3. Let's go to number 4. For number 4, they want us to find the voltage going through the inductor. Inductor. So if you will label this is capacitor, capacitor, resistor, resistor, inductor. So we write our formula. V equals I times Z. V equals parentheses times Z. Inside of the parentheses for I, we write 24 plus 12I. And for the Z, tell your neighbor what I'm going to write for the Z, for the inductor. All right, good communication. Mario, pass him one. Joseph, what do I write for the inductor? 6I. Looks about right. So you distribute here and here. So it should give us 144I plus 72I squared. Am I done, everyone? Am I done? No. What do I do for the I squared? Times -1. So -1 times 72, that's -72. This goes at the end. And that is the voltage going through the inductor. Send that in, please. Copy the agenda. Warm-up number 80. We just finished. We're still in the middle of the circles. Tonight's home play is circles, play sheet B, numbers 1 through 21, evens. Evens only. All right? All right? Next, copy the code to access today's play sheet. IZX9K. Write that down, please. IZX9K. 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 All right? Now, at the end of the session, I am going to take a question from the home plate. However, I do want us to get straight to the practice of today, just to revisit the process one more time, just in case some of us struggled with that. So, once again, tonight's home play is circle, play sheet B, numbers 1 through 21, evens only, and it's going to look like this when you log into the code. Just extra practice. All right, got a Cornell note ready, please. I can write and graph standard form equation of a circle. I can write and graph the standard form equation of a circle. I can write and graph the standard form equation of a circle. Write that down, please. All right, so here we go. Yesterday we covered the definition for circle. Without looking at your notes, tell your neighbor, what do you say a circle is? What is a circle? Tell your neighbor, please. What is a circle? What is a circle? All right, Joseph, pass them one. Mario, what is a circle? Woo, my goodness. What enlightenment. According to yesterday's definition, it was equidistant points from the center. Bah. No, but you went to the YouTube channel, right? Oh, okay. Anyways, once again, reminder, if you're absent, right, and go into my YouTube channel, watch the video lesson of the day so you don't fall behind. Anyways, our standard form equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We did the easy problems, example 1, example 1Q, and example 2 and example 2Q. However, some of you might have had problems, get it, problems, with these kinds. So on your paper, copy this one, please. Example 3Q. We're going to do another one here in class before I go over the home plate, or at least one problem from the home plate. And you make some space here. Just copy the equation. And the equation given is x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 6y plus 4 equal to 0. And you're writing that down, right, Mario? All right, good. All right, so now that we have that, we said that the process that we're using is completing the square. That means from highest degree to lowest degree is standard form, equal to 0. Is step 1 done? Yes. Step 2, divide by the leading coefficient, which is an invisible 1. I want you to do the step, please. Muscle memory, x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 6y plus 4 equal to 0. From there, we eliminate the constant. What is the constant? Plus 4, so we subtract 4, subtract 4. On the right side, we have negative 4. On the left side, this is where we group the x's together and the y's together. So let's start with the x's. We have x squared and 4x. You put them in parentheses. Leave an empty space. Plus. From there, you group the y's. We have a y squared and a 6y. And leave an empty space. Now, why do we leave an empty space, Mr. Q? Because we need to complete the square at that point. So look up. Just look at this part. Tell your neighbor what completes the square right here for the x. Talk to your neighbor. What shall we write there? Yeah, we take 4 over 2 squared. We add that there. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. Now look at the y. We also need to complete the square at the y. So what do we do here? Same. Plus 6 over 2 squared. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. So we end up with, parentheses, x squared, 4x, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 squared is 4, plus y squared, plus 6y, plus 6 divided by 2 is 3, 3 squared is 9, equals to negative 4. Then we got 4, and that is 9. Can we simplify the right side? Yes, Mr. Q, cross out the 4's. That leaves us with 9. Bring everything else down. X squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared plus 6y plus 9. Are we there so far?
Yes, Mr. Q.
All right. Next, we need to factor each one of these with a shortcut. What is square root of x? X. What is square root of 4? 2. What is the sign of the middle? Plus, and we write that to the second power. Plus. Do the same for this one. Square root of the first. Y. Square root of the last. 3. Sign of the middle. Plus. Write that squared and all that equal to 9. And this is our what? Label it, please. Put a little asterisk. Standard form. All right, so now let's double check to make sure it is in standard form. Let me actually zoom in. Whoop. What do I do? Oh, there it is. I want you to write the form right underneath it, and the form should look like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. All right. Does it look like that? Pretty much. So we need a center for the circle and a radius. So the center, where do we get the center from, everyone? From H and K, is that correct? Here and here. So look at the equation. What is our H? Not really, because this should be a negative, is that correct? So therefore this should be a -2. That is correct. Therefore, what is our K? -3. Mario in the house? Let's go. I thought you said you were absent. You're cooking? All right, I see you. So, how do we find R, everyone? Well, look up. If these are aligned like that, that means that R squared is 9. So how do we find R? Square root and square root. So therefore, R is what, everyone? 3. All right? So, let me zoom out. There's our process. Make a coordinate plane over here on the right side, guys, and let's graph this. The center is at -2, -3, so -2 of x, 1, 2. Oh, let me change that to black. -2, -3, 1, 2, 3. So my center is right there. So far so good, yes? However, the radius is 3. What does that mean? That from the center to the circle is how many steps? From the center to the circle is how many steps? 3. That makes the circle equidistant, is that correct? So that means from here I go 3 steps up, 1, 2, 3, plot your points. 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3. 3 down, 1, 2, 3. And once you have all those, make your circle. Nice and neat like mine. Hopefully this is clarifying any spider webs. All right? All right, so far so good. Copy this one, example 3 super cube. I want us to get plenty of practice here to make sure we got this. X squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 4y minus 1 equals 0. All right? So let's do this one together. It's going to go pretty fast since we already got this, yes? So, is it in standard form, everyone? Yes. So what is my next step, Caesar? Before that. Divide by 1. Make sure you do the step, please. Muscle memory. X squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 4y minus 1 equal to 0. And then you said add 1 to each side. Plus 1 plus 1. So, now we group the x's together. So that is x squared plus 4x, leave an empty space, plus group the y's together, y squared minus 4y, y squared minus 4y, empty space, equal to 1. All right? That's an ugly 4. Let me change that. 4y. All right, continue. Ashlyn, what do I do next? Four over 2 squared, 2 each side. And what else? Negative 4 over 2 squared, 2 each side. That is correct. Ashlyn in the house. So, we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals to 1 plus 4 plus 4. What is 1 plus 4 plus 4, people?
9.
All right, good. We got x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4. How we doing? Yes? All right, pass someone. Ashlyn? Caitlin, what do I do next? Square root the first and the last of each, so that gives me x, 2, and the sign of the middle is plus, that's squared. Let's do the same thing for this. Square root of y squared is y, square root of 4 is 2, sign of the middle is negative, squared equals to 9. Is that in standard form, everyone? Yes, it's already in standard form, and to check it, write it underneath to make sure x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So, to graph it, we need a center and a radius. So, by looking at our standard form equation right here, let me box it. Tell your neighbor what the center is, please. Then Caitlin's going to pass it to someone. What is our center? Mario, center. Negative 2. 2. That is correct. So negative 2, 2. And the radius? Positive 3. That is correct. All right. So now that we have our center and our radius, let's graph that. Negative 2, 2. Negative 2 and 2 is right there. And our radius is 3, so 3 steps up, 3 steps to the right, 3 steps down, 3 steps to the left, and then your circle. Let's go. Not bad, not bad. From 1 to 5, I'll come provide you with these now. 1 to 5. 5 4s, 5 4s. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Plenty of practice today. Copy this one. Example 3 mega cube. Equation given. 3x squared plus 3y squared plus 6x plus 12y plus 3 equal to 0. Well, let me zoom in. There it is. All right, I'm going to give you a head start on this one just to make sure you're practicing your processes. Try to not look at the previous one that you made or that you did so you can work on your muscle memory. Use some time. Copy and go. All right. Check with your neighbor, see where you're at to get this show on the road. And then I'm going to call on someone on this side of the room since we've been on that side too much now. All right. Here we go. Good conversations. Step 1, is it in standard form? Yes. Highest degree to lowest degree and equal to 0. What is my next step? Sebastian, what do I do next? Divide by 3, or the leading coefficient here is 3. So divide everything by 3. So we end up with x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y plus 1 equal to 0. Pass on one? Gabriel, what do I do next? Get rid of the constant, so minus 1 to each side. We end up with x squared, remember we group them, plus 2x, leave an empty space, plus y squared and the 4y in another parentheses, empty space, and all that equal to negative 1. All right, next, pass someone. Rachel? Plus 2 over 2 squared to each side, plus 2 over 2 squared. What else? Plus 4 over 2 squared to each side. All right, so we end up with x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus y squared plus 4y plus 4 equals to negative 1 plus 1 plus 4. Can we simplify the right side? Yes, Mr. Q. Get rid of the ones. 4 equals to x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus y squared plus 4y plus 4. All right. Let me fix this. Next, pass someone. Annette. Square root both of the first and the last of each trinomial. So that is x and 1. Sign of the middle is plus, so that is squared. Plus square root here and here, that is y and 2. Sign of the middle is plus. Squared equals to 4. Hands if you got it to right there by yourself. All right, not bad. So now we need I'm not even going to write the standard form equation. We need a center and a radius. Tell your neighbor the center and the radius, and Annette's going to pass someone. Center and radius. All right, Annette, pass someone. Abby, center. Negative 1, negative 2, and the radius? 2. Hands, have you got that? That is correct. Let's go. All right, let's graph that. Negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2 is down here. And the radius is 2. That means 2 steps in all directions. And plot a point. And your graph. All right. Send me your notes. Let me send you the screen. Hopefully that clarified any questions from last night. All right. So, with that said, before I give you one more, we have plenty of time, let me go to the home plate from last night. Let's see, last night's was this one. Questions on the home plate from last night, now that, well, we did the process right now. Any questions? Did we clarify those questions? We good? All right. All right, therefore, here goes your last problem. Here it goes. Copy this one. Example 2, Shazam Q. You should be able to do that one completely by yourself. The whole thing. The whole thing! All right, so example 3, Shazam Q reads 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 20x plus 12y plus 50 equal to 0. So, write me the equation in standard form, find the center and the radius, and then graph. Copy that and go. Alright. Alright, so it looks like that extra practice did the trick. So tonight, make sure you do your home play. Also, I want you to go to Canvas and double check your assignments for this class. Some of you are missing a bunch of stuff. I did an update today. Some of you have a bunch of zeros. You guys need to put in some work. Alright, those of you following on YouTube, make sure you also get your extra practice in. See you guys next time. Peace.